Hi, I'm here to tell you about the two recipients of this year's High Holy Days Appeal. RSY, the Youth Department of the Movement for Reform Judaism, and Leeds Jewish Welfare Board. I'm not going to give you a list of what all the things those two organisations do. You can look that up on their websites. What I'd like to do is to show you how these two organisations have contributed to my life and to the life of my family. And hopefully, so you can see how they could contribute and do contribute to so many other families here at Sinai. Firstly, RSY. 12 years ago, my twin daughters were at a school in North Yorks, a huge school of over 2,000 pupils, which contained two openly Jewish children, my children. At the same time, we had decided to migrate a little bit that way to Bradford Synagogue, where there were the sum total of two other children. I don't mean two other children their age, I mean two other children. And so they had no experience of spending time with other Jewish children. They really struggled with their Jewish identity, and a regular statement was they didn't see how it mattered to them because they had nobody else to discuss that experience with. But we were really lucky. It was suggested to us by people at MRJ that we find a way for the girls to go to Shemesh, the summer camps run by RSY. They went on Emunah, which is the camp for year 8s. At that point, it was the first camp for just 1 year. I think now the year 7s also have their own camp. It was an amazing experience for them. It gave them a sense of how their Jewish identity fitted in with those of others. They sang in the talent competition. They took the service on the second Shabbat. That was really interesting. They came home and said, "Mom, did you know we're really religious?" Which kind of surprised me. But the most important thing for them was they spent 2 weeks with other Jewish children from all over this country, living a totally Jewish life, without any pressure or feeling that that was somehow wrong, which is what they felt in their everyday lives. It gave them a chance to see how their Judaism contributed to their identities. They had 2 weeks just to be themselves. But I couldn't afford it. It was a lot of money. And there was no way I could pay for them to go. There was no way their father could pay for them to go. They were only able to go because people donated to RSY. So what we would like is people to enable families like mine to have that experience, to send their children to camp. Many of our children are in similar positions where they go to schools where they and their siblings are the only Jewish children. And we need to give them a way for their Jewish identity to become as important to them as it became to my children, as vouchsafed by the fact that one of those two children is now working here. And that wouldn't have happened. I can't see that they would have done their bat mitzvah, that they would have done any of that without having gone to camp. It changed their lives. More recently, I personally have been helped by the Jewish Welfare Board. I know lockdowns were difficult for us all. The second lockdown was incredibly complicated for me. I was unemployed, I was living on my own in Otley, so I wasn't even in Leeds, near other people, and I basically spent 3 months sitting in an armchair in front of the television. On the worst day, I had the sense to phone Leeds Jewish Welfare Board, and they provided me with a lifeline. They phoned me several times a week. They encouraged me to apply for a home in a sheltered housing place and helped me to move into Leeds, into Skyte House, where I currently live. I felt at the time they'd saved my life. And this time last year, when I was forced to leave school because of stress. I was advised by my GP to get some support, to get some help to make me cope with the stress. But I was also told at the same time it could be 3 months before the NHS could provide me with any help. I phoned the Welfare Board and I had a support worker allocated to me within a week. The Welfare Board provided me with the help I needed when I needed it. And they don't just give you help for 6 or 8 weeks as the NHS do. They give you that help for as long as you need it. In fact, one of the proudest moments of my life was a couple of months ago when I decided I no longer needed that and that I'd got through the problems that I had. And I'm not alone. Many of our members have been helped by Leeds Jewish Welfare Board, and we need to support this amazing community resource. If any of you have seen their, I can't think of the word in English, their Shanatavis that they're giving out, it says, hope begins here. Just as the dove returning with an olive branch signaled to Noah that the flood was over and brought hope and renewal, so the Welfare Board brings hope to the community. And this year it's more important than ever. We know that the cost of living has massively increased over the last 5 years, but the Welfare Board's own statistics suggest that 53% of their donors have not increased how much they've given. And in fact, last year, 100 people who normally donate each year failed to donate. It is so important that we preserve this community resource for the next generations. So please, I would encourage you to help them to make it so that they can continue to help us. Thank you very much. Oh, yes. You can donate on the website, and how else can you donate? Becky knows.
So obviously Welfare Board is very, very dear to my heart. Thank you for your kind words. As a Sinai community, we give a donation together collectively. So you can do that via the Sinai website. If anybody does want to donate individually, there are newsletters in the foyer with a QR code on the back, and you can donate individually. That's just to the Welfare Board campaign. But we very much like to give collectively as a community to show how significant our commitment is to the Leeds Jewish Welfare Board. So thank you.